Welcome back to the podcast, MEDCAST.
It's like they never left.
It's like they never left. I gotta clarify this. I know I've said it a million times on the Twitter and whatnot. Okay, it's called MEDCAST, not because it has anything to do with medicine, but because my nickname is Med. Right, Steve?
Yeah. It's pretty clear to me, but to other people it might be confusing.
For the first time in a long time. This is our fourth time trying to record this, maybe fifth, right?
This is our fourth attempt.
Fourth, yeah.
Do we have any guarantee that we'll actually... As long as we're watching that,
yeah.
good, right?
I think it's working. For the first time, it's the same physical space. You've seen Steven before in the previous streams and stuff, but now he's here.
Now our bodies are next to each other.
Don't say it like that.
We're taking up the same physical space. We're occupying an intimate bubble. Notice my word choice.
Yeah, I'm a foot away from you. Don't make that any closer.
A foot? That's being a little generous.
All right, so it's been a while since the last MEDCAST. The videos have been mostly tutorials. See, I have it written out. I'm just reading it. That way it's easier.
Good, yeah. Did you write any lines for me?
Well, you're gonna improv.
Very helpful as usual, Med. Always there for
I'm
me.
not gonna write your lines for a thing.
I'm just saying it seems a bit unfair. All right, do you think? Go.
Well, now they know I'm reading from something.
So? That's not going to change what you're going to say. It's not going to change what you're going to say. What's the matter?
They're going to be like, well, we can't take this. It's not his honest, true, present words. He's like, all right.
You don't want people who are going to think that anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Filter them out.
All right, they're just bullet points to me now. Okay. Anyway, it has been a while since one of these because I've been doing mostly tutorials and Patreon critiques and which, by the way, I'd like to say a huge thanks to everyone supporting this endeavor through commenting, sharing, slapping a like on these videos, which, go ahead and do that now if you want. I'll wait. All right. Now, I assume you just slapped a like onto this video. Thank you. And I for real appreciate it. I don't even know how to express my gratitude except to say thank you. Right? So, a lot has happened in the last few months. I'm in a very fun, exciting place right now. I might sound tired because I haven't been in my own little place for 10 days now.
You're displaced.
I'm displaced. I've been traveling, drove down the whole coast from Seattle to Los Angeles.
Very nice, very nice.
Now I'm here. All right, yeah. So a few months back, I chose to leave the studio life, studio job from ArenaNet. It was a great time there. To sort of pursue my own thing. I found myself in a very interesting, exciting place, and more on that in a moment. And let's talk about leaving work, because you did the same thing, right?
I did, yeah. I also left my studio.
It's funny, I did it 2 weeks after you did, and I seem to be copying things you do. What was it? You got
It seems uncanny, don't you think?
It's like you got
a little more than coincidence, possibly.
Like we were at the Apple store and you got the new iPhone. I was like, wait, you get the new iPhone? I got the exact same one.
Well, you did that, and then you were like, hey, how much space did you get? And I had got the 64 gig, and you were getting the 32, and you're like, well, I gotta get the 64 too.
Yeah, it's sitting right in front of me. Now it's getting slow. They're I believe it. The firmware update is designed to make these ones slow so that we buy the new stupid iPhone 7s.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's real.
To Android. Anyway, so leaving the studio job.
Yep.
Being at the job was great. There's the pros. You're going to be around amazing artists, directors, people with experience, and you pick up a lot of knowledge that than you otherwise would from just doing freelance at home. And for me, there was just the free snacks and the drinks and having a steady, reliable income, being with people, etc. Yeah, you want to add to that? What was it like for you? What are the pros of you were working at a theme park company, designing a lot of things, doing a lot of artwork, doing a lot of pitches? So
everything that you said, it definitely holds true. So much of the stuff that I look back on that I got from studio life that I couldn't have got anywhere else was just being in meetings. Even the lowest level meetings is not something that we usually get exposed to, all the way up to the much more heavy and important stuff, like being in meetings with clients and drawing in front of them and presenting to them and pitching to them. That stuff is super important, and there's really no substitute for real experience with it. You can have practice at it in auxiliary ways, like through school and stuff like that, and pitching projects at school. But when you're really in the room with the real people who are paying the company,
millions of dollars,
it kind of really puts it on the line. And, you know, when you can kind of lock it down there, it gives you a sort of unshakable confidence that you can't really fake.
I've never had to do that where, like, I drew in front of the clients themselves. Like, we sent stuff off sometimes, but because you were doing, you guys had different clients almost every month.
Yeah.
Whereas we just had an IP, Guild Wars 2, and Anyway, so it was
just differences
like,
in the structure of the studios. I mean, you guys were making your own thing, and the studio I was working for is largely a consulting and outsourcing studio that does design for a lot of other places.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna jump onto the cons of working in a studio. Sure. Which more or less led me to kind of choose to pursue my own thing and leave. But, you know, a schedule. I like, you know, I like being able to have my own schedule, not really tied down to you have to be here at 9 a.m. kind of thing. But, I mean, of course, if you're working at a place you love, you're going to be more than willing to do that. And it was like that for a while. And working on projects that you might not be into. I'm not really a fan of MMORPGs, so it was hard for me to get around at first. And I found a way to enjoy it, but that might be a con. And I guess the biggest one, for me, is that it takes away from time to work on your personal stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the classic thing, is that we as artists and creators, you know, usually the thing that gets us into this life is that we wanted to make something for ourselves, these things that we imagined. And, you know, as the years go on, you face the realities where, you know, for most of us, you have to go through a period where you're working for other people and all that. But it never really goes away, the original drive that got you into it.
Right.
And I just want to say that a lot of those, the scheduling cons and the working on projects that you're might not be into, I mean, those eventually add up, and, you know, eventually you need to take a break, vacation, leave, anything like that. But those are also, you can turn them into pros too, because they train you for professionalism.
Absolutely.
You know, they help you you learn a lot of coping tools, and like you kind of grapple with your brain directly in a way you can't fake. You know, you find a way to, like, how can I make this good even though I just don't care.
That's a skill.
It is a skill. It has to be practiced. It has to be practiced, and a studio's one of the few places where you can do that.
Right.
It's a good thing to learn.
I couldn't imagine actively on my own choosing a project that I hate to do at home. Like, who would do
no,
that?
You couldn't. It would be impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's such a big thing.
It's a useful skill, for sure.
And there's, like, the other end, and I think this is probably at every company, any big company. It's sometimes you have to deal with nonsense politics. And of course, those are things I can't really talk about here. But a little bit of that popped up, and it's just like one thing led to another, and I had my own things going, so I just chose to, you know, bite the bullet and pursue my own thing. So yeah, you know, freelance, personal projects, YouTube, and I think what I'm enjoying a lot is teaching, right? And this, in my earlier videos, I have been hinting at this, like, kind of new thing that I'm doing, this announcement, and I guess I can sort of talk about that now. And if you're already supporting me on Patreon, you already know this. But okay, all right, so. On Monday, I taught my first class at ArtCenter College of Design.
Yay!
Well, holy crap, there's confetti here.
There's fireworks everywhere.
How did you do that?
Is that a parade? It's a silent parade.
It's a parade.
It's all for you, man. It's all for you, man. I said it was a silent parade.
Well, I heard it in my head like that.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm Middle Eastern, so I assumed it was like genie.
They're not done yet. That was beautiful.
That was gorgeous.
That was amazing.
Did you see
that was the most beautiful silent parade I've ever seen.
You saw the flamingos?
They were great.
How did they do? They were synchronized. They're animals.
They know. It's like they practiced or something.
I'm so tired that I wish I could express my real excitement. We had a blast. That was the first class. We had a great time. By the way, if you're in my class, you're listening to this right now, what are you doing? Go do your homework. Come on. What did I tell you?
Right now.
Although, I mean, I guess this is relevant.
No, it's not.
No. Teaching at ArtCenter was fun. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm pretty excited about it. Looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. we'll see how this first term goes, and then see what the future has for us. It's good to be back. It's different because, when I was there for entertainment design, there was we had our little room, but now they have this big area, and it's like these big glass walls, and they got their own computer stations.
Sounds so luxe, man.
And I know,
very luxurious.
When we were there, it was just like a small program. Now it's split into 2 tracks. They got the animation track now. And I know I told you about this, and I'm pretty jealous because. Their focus is animation for, I guess, Disney. I mean, it's all in the area. Disney's on the street. Pixar's up north, but
Classic ArtCenter.
Sony Animation, DreamWorks is here, and our new department chair he's got 20 years experience from DreamWorks, so he knows what's up, and the instructors are from Disney. So, and what I like is when I first walked into the entertainment room. I noticed this wall full of these light boxes, and they're the legit ones, the animators use. So the students have to draw by hand animations for the first few terms.
It's awesome.
It's legit,
It's awesome.
And I say it's ambitious because I was at the presentation for the department meeting, and their goal is to grow this into the best animation program in the world. So let's see how that goes. I mean, the guy is French, so I'm sure he's aware of Gobelins, spelled goblins. I don't even know if I said it right. And they have some incredible animation.
It's great stuff.
Shorts and for the Annecy Film Festivals, good stuff. I'm wondering if this program was available back when we were there, I probably still would have chosen concept art.
Probably.
Track, but I would have been tempted to try to take some of their classes.
I would have had to think about it. And I think halfway through probably
try to take.
I would have been I gotta try some of this animation stuff.
Yeah, because they also have Maya every term, I think, and modeling and stuff. So
getting them ready, man.
They're learning traditional animation as well as digital. Basically, the whole package of what you would need for being an ace person for a studio job like that, or
either make your own shorts or be a character animator, or great foundation for moving into a director position if you're going to try to do something like that.
I would definitely love to make my own shorts and jeans too. So see what I did there?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Right, that's a word.
That's a joke.
Joke is a word
because I implied that I would sew my own shorts with fabric.
Yeah,
short films. Yep. Anyway, okay, so ArtCenter. Teaching, students, the ideal student. Go. What is the ideal student?
In my mind, the ideal student is someone who is willing to work really hard. Kind of break their back on work.
I didn't do any of that.
Nope. And is willing to empty their cup. That is.
What does that mean?
Basically, everything.
You have to speak in the Bruce Lee. I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to try to imitate Bruce Lee. Basically, anything that. You come in with all this past experience and stuff that you think that you know.
I'm right. I'm the best.
And maybe you do know, and maybe you are right about some of it, but when you go into a teaching environment, you're willing to empty out and get rid of those pre-existing biases and take in what the teacher is saying and sort of trust the process and what the teacher is giving you so that you can learn in a new way and absorb it, and then afterwards you have to have kind of the willpower and the critical thinking to then synthesize it with what you know on your own.
Critical thinking is a big one, and we'll get back to that because that's one of the greatest skills that people need.
Yep.
As opposed to please, hold my hand and show me how to do it. You're capable of figuring this out. But what if I already know this stuff? I'm the best, and I don't care what the teacher says, right? So that's the idea. That's the mindset you have to kind of get rid of, because then what's the point of being there, right?
You're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
You're probably just there to show off at that point.
I certainly was for the first term. I'm good, and then I realized people are really good there that were way better than me. So it's not about your emotions. It's about improving, taking in whatever's available in terms of teaching. And you might not be at an art school or art center or wherever, but there's so much stuff online with Gumroads, and not even full-on degrees. You can go to Concept Design Academy, Brainstorm, and take specific classes if you want to know how to do things for the entertainment industry, how to draw, how to paint, how to do figures, environments, concepts for concepts for mechs and environments. And like one of the biggest parts, I think, for the ideal student, no matter what you're pursuing, drawing, painting, music, gardening, give me something.
Shark hunting.
Don't
do that. A lot of them are endangered.
They're gonna die. So whatever you're pursuing, you're gonna suck in the beginning. That's part of the process. It's like when I first started learning guitar, I was awful. Obviously, you don't just pick up a guitar and you're amazing. So you have to accept the fact that your first drawings are gonna be like, right? And your first paintings, your first Photoshop paintings or real paintings, they're gonna be bad.
You have to be willing to fail.
Yeah.
And fail catastrophically.
Like with cats everywhere. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, man, we're 17 minutes in. That's pretty good. I thought it would be...
Wow, we're going so fast.
Wow.
Maybe we can linger on failing for a second.
Let's linger on failing. You go. Go.
The trick to failing catastrophically is to... I mean, everybody's used to failure. The problem is that most people fail, and then they let it get to them. And it makes them give up or say... I failed at this once, so obviously I can't do it. Let's try something else. And they can't commit to one thing that they're studying or figuring out. The trick is to fail catastrophically, look at it, and go, that was horrible, and then break it down and say, where did I go wrong, and how can I make it better next time? Right. And then the next time, you go into it, and you attack it again with full vigor, and you just do your best to fix the mistakes that you made. And you're going to make more, and you'll just keep on learning and learning and learning.
And before you know it, after all those failures, even though they feel like awful negative experiences, you look back and you compare where you are to when you started. Boom, you're like, whoa, I'm much better now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's how it was for me. I'm sure for you, for everyone. When I started I wanted to learn how to paint, and so I think the first digital painting I ever did was of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I wish I had it. It was so bad. But I had no idea what I was doing. And I was using a mouse, right? And then I think what augments my digital painting understanding is traditional painting. I didn't know what I was doing with that either. And I mean, my grandmother was an oil painter. She did all these landscapes. And so she had this set of oil paints in the basement, and I remember going down there just in the cold. I was barefoot and it was just cement. I remember the pit pats of walking on that cement, but I found the box of oils and I grabbed them and I opened them and I had a piece of paper and I didn't even use a paintbrush. I just smeared the paint on the thing. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know. But it was a catastrophic failure that was necessary for me to mess up first and then start researching how to do the stuff.
Yeah, and you learned that you should probably get a paintbrush.
Yeah, a paintbrush, maybe a canvas.
It might help a bit.
I knew there was you needed a paintbrush. I remember actually, I put the tubes. I put the paint out on a piece of paper and I used a pencil to smear it around to kind of draw with it. I remember it was I was trying to draw Yuna from Final Fantasy X. And this goes back to the story I've talked about before of there was a PlayStation magazine cover, and back then they would have comic book artists illustrate the covers. They were beautiful. This one was done by Joe Mad and painted by Christian Leitner, who art directed Diablo 3 recently. And it was funny, it always comes full circle with these things. Not always, but unexpectedly, he ended up listening to the podcast that I talked about that, and he messaged me laughing, and I'm like, wow, this is cool.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
I love that. That's great.
So digital versus traditional. And I'm sitting here in Steven's apartment. Steven, this is you. I introduced you, right?
Yeah, you said my name.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Stop touching me. I'm peeking over at your desk, and you have a bunch of paintings. You're painting on watercolor paper. Mm-hmm. You're doing studies of animals, anatomy, horses, foxes. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, especially when it comes to studying, I think that traditional is really helpful for someone who's starting out, because I find that if I try to study a lot digital, I get fatigued really quickly.
Right.
It's
too easy.
It's too easy. There's no reason to slow down and think. There's no reason to commit and focus. Mm-hmm. And even just on a physical level, when you sit down at your computer and you're like, I'm going to study for 6 hours in Photoshop, that means you're going to be staring at a light bulb for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And your eyes start getting fatigued. You just get shackled to your desk. Traditional, it slows you down, lets you think. doesn't hurt your eyes. You can say, I'm going to study for 8 hours, and it's much easier because it's more gentle on you. I prefer traditional for those kinds of things.
Yeah, let's segue into leading this to the end.
Stop it. It's mean.
I shouldn't be like...
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, so lately there's some cool stuff happening. One of my favorite little things that just happened is on ArtStation they had the ILM challenge. And I think I might do a separate video on this to kind of just break down how I feel about it. Because you look at the first place, Mario... What was his last name? I could Google it.
I think it started with an A.
It was an A. Sorry, dude, if you're listening to it. You're probably not listening to it. Anyway,
She'll probably.
Beautiful art.
Was it Alberti? I don't want to say something too specific
right,
and then have it not be right.
Let's just Google it. Yeah, these people listening can just wait. My cup.
Bum, bum, bum,
give us...
bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum,
What do I do?
bum.
Oh, Alberti. I already have the tab open.
I nailed it.
You got it.
5 ego points.
Ego
My memory
points.
is so good. I can remember everything.
I'm gonna shut up. I'll put the link in the description for this guy's stuff if you haven't seen it. But the first place, I'm looking at it right now. It's not, it's for ILM. These people have been doing Star Wars for so long. They know what's up. They know story. They know what they're looking for. And it's just these cool action shots. They tell story. There's this one of Han Solo kissing a girl in
That's the best,
in the
man.
back window, and there's this just beautiful like speeder bike in the foreground, and like a lieutenant knocking at the door. Obviously they're looking for Han Solo, and there's like the stormtroopers. This tells more story than pretty much any painting I've ever seen on ArtStation, and I think that's why these key scenes were so successful, because it's not about look at me, I can render. Like, it's not about that.
It's crazy good. Like the kid looking out the window.
Yeah, it's storytelling.
He's holding the little fighter plane because it's a toy.
Oh, I just noticed that.
Yeah, that's story, man.
Wow. Yeah, and we get so lost and caught up in thinking that concept art and getting into the industry is about rendering with nice lighting and lens flare and color dodge stuff. Mm-hmm. But this, to me, is a nice reminder from not just myself, but for everyone. It's about the story.
Yeah.
Like, and this guy has a background in comic books, which, he... injecting into the concept art world, of course, he's going to have a slight upper hand, even though it's not Craig Mullin's rendering and stuff. This one's really cool. I love this one. Yeah. And you could tell, I really hope this guy ends up working for them. And
looks like he's got all the chops to do it.
Yeah, and as beautiful as the other entrants were, like, to me, the other ones were very much like beautiful works, but how do I say this without insulting anybody? We'll just move on to the next topic.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm just messing. So yeah, I've been really inspired by that lately, and looking at other comics like Low by, the artwork is by Greg Tocchini. Beautiful line work, beautiful colors, and it's actually similar to this guy's stuff. And being around other artists now that I'm down with my California crew again.
Classic crew.
Talking about art all day and all that stuff. It's really nice. And Overwatch, of course, I'm so happy that Overwatch is the thing, because I've not gamed. I haven't been a gamer in so long.
Seriously.
This is a re-entry to it, because it's actually fun. You can pick it up. You don't have to be the best. You could just play and have a good time with a team. Versus getting into a whole MMORPG world where you have to learn the stats and memorize these runes and numbers.
And you have to show up every Thursday night to run the raid, or else everybody hates you.
Yeah. What are you being inspired by right now? I mean, academics, clearly, because you have all these books on your desk about how to draw animals and watercolor, and you're looking at these tutorials and stuff.
Main inspirations right now, going back to a lot of core stuff. Looking at a lot of old video games, art from old instruction manuals from games that we liked when we were kids. Looking at a lot of Frazetta, which was one of the things that got me into art back in the day.
Let me interrupt you for a second, because before I got here, you had done this awesome series of Mega Man X redesigns for all the bosses.
Yeah.
But you kept Zero the same, and it's so cool because I was like, yes, this is what I want to see, even though it's technically fan art. It's like, it was awesome. Like, you know, we're going to do another talk on fan art another day. I think it's okay to do it, blah, 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 blah. But you also got featured on what was it, Kotaku and Reddit and whatnot?
Yeah, I got on a few blogs. Yeah, I got to the front page of Our Gaming.
Wow. Well, good job. I'm clapping.
Oh, wow.
Yay. Oh, dude, look. The parade, the silent parade's going by again.
Oh, now it's my name at the front of the parade.
Oh, look at them go.
Oh.
All right, they're done.
That was so nice. Yeah. That was so nice.
That was pretty.
I gotta tell you, that made me feel really good.
Yeah, especially
that made me feel really
about
good.
You and
it was all about me.
An ego boost.
Glorious me. God, I love me.
Oh boy, they're gonna believe you.
Fine, let them believe me. I don't need their loathing to feed my self-loathing. I can self-loathe as much as I want.
You hate yourself way too much.
It feel good.
Oh, your self-portraits. Those are beautiful.
That's my real art.
You amplify it to 11. You make yourself so ugly. Like, how do you do that?
That's my real art, man.
It's beautiful.
That's what I am at my core.
I want to walk into an art gallery of just that, you know.
I'll work on it.
It evokes a real primal, just like, yes, this is real. This is it, you know. It's none of that BS like, this is the painting of a horse and a fairy and an elf guy with a sword. No, this is the real deal.
I know that that's my real art because every time I draw one, cackle like an idiot, and I can't control it. It's not forced. I just lose my mind.
You're going to have to give me the horse one or any of them that I could take a picture of and put it in the description.
Sure.
Now they're expecting.
You can use whatever you want, yeah.
So good.
No problem.
You took a picture of it, right? You sent it to your girlfriend?
Yeah. The horse one, I can send you that.
Send me that one.
I'll do that right after this, yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Sure.
Let me just extend another thank you for everyone who's been so patient. I've been a little bit behind, you know, moving down here, driving the whole way down, looking for a part. It's a nightmare. It's a mess. While also juggling like YouTube and Patreon and teaching the class and making the syllabus. Guys, I hate making syllabuses. It's so dumb. It's like I can't.
I believe it's syllabi.
That's what I said.
You said syllabus.
No. I said syllabi.
Syllabitis?
It's literally on record. Like we could rewind and I could prove that I said syllabi.
We will see.
But I'm not that dumb. Please. Stupid. Don't look at me like that. So dumb. All right, syllabize. Cause I have to,
you know I don't care. I only did that because if someone in the comments would have said something,
absolutely,
and I cut them off.
Excuse me, you said syllabus is not syllabi.
Have you ever heard English?
That's why I'm getting downvotes. Like every video, there's like 3 or 4 down. Like, who are you? I want to meet you.
It's me on 4 accounts.
Dude, why are you doing that?
Feels good.
I just want to be like, hey, I want to go up to their house, knock on the door. Hey, it's me. It's me, Ahmed, from the video you downvoted. I genuinely want to know what's wrong. Like, you know, I'd like to address these issues.
They would change their tune.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, it was just an accident. I thought it was the download button. I didn't know. Like,
download button. I was trying to download your YouTube video. I thought it meant download, right?
Oh man, no. So thank you for liking the videos because you know I don't know what the algorithm does for that.
Like I do.
Shut up. But I guess it like you know it allows the video to show up in people's recommended or something, and you know the more people that see this, the more traction and the more I can offer, etc., etc. So yeah, thank you for all that. Thank you for your support on Patreon. If you're waiting for the next term, I'll be announcing that pretty soon. I have this footage of start to finish of painting this Junkrat fan art. I'll put that on here on the screen right now. I hope it's on the screen. I'm probably going to forget to put it on.
Try not to.
Yeah?
Don't just put up a screen of your show notes.
I'm not recording the screen right now.
Okay.
Wait, let's check if the audio is still recording.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's good.
Thank God.
Oh, it's still going.
Not again. Not again. We went fifth time.
Dude, we hit record and we went, 40 minutes talking and we thought it was recording.
Yeah.
And, dude, that was the worst day. We went
then we gave up for 3 days.
We gave up for 3 days. This is day 4. But we immediately went and got In-N-Out to kind of just like make us feel better. Mm-hmm. Oh, those burgers.
It's the best cure.
The best cure.
It heals all wounds.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you're doing some awesome drawings. You know, if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. By the way, if I don't go back to your comments, do know that I am reading them all, even the funny, silly ones. But yeah, if you have any thoughts or comments and stuff, Brushes are in the description, etc. as always. And yeah, you got any last words?
It's good to have you back.
Yeah. It's good to be back. Feels good. It's hot here.
It's very hot here.
California's hot.
That's why we have our whole startup situation.
Yeah.
going on out in the living room.
We'll explain that some other day. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Do you want to say click? No. No. It's so stupid. I want.
Wait, I'll do.